All right, Shalom. As always, we're going to start with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. Giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. So everything we say is going to be in the name of the Anointed Savior. Give praise and glory and thanks to the Most High for everything, because He's worthy to be praised for everything, brothers. So I want to look at Jeremiah 21:8. And it says, and unto this people, speaking of us, the children of Israel, thou shalt say, thus say the Most High, behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. You hear that? He said he set before us the way of life and the way of death. Now this life is a way to enter into everlasting life. And the way of death is to be cast into the lake of fire, where the worms never die and the fires never quench. It's talked about all throughout the Bible. So look at Deuteronomy 30:19. Going back to the law of Moses. With the laws that the Most High gave us through Moses. Deuteronomy 30:19. Deuteronomy 30:19. So that's two things we could choose, either life or death. But you know, this world teaches you have your free will to do as you want to. You don't have your free will to do as you want to. This is what the Most High told us and telling us now. Deuteronomy 30:19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death. What is this life and death? Blessings and cursing. Therefore choose life, so you can be blessed, that both thou and thy seed, our children, may live, that thou mayest love the Most High thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life. You hear that? That's our life. The Most High is our life. And the length of thy days, so we can live a long time by being obedient to him, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Most High sware to thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them. You see? And that's the kingdom for us. Why he told us in Deuteronomy 28:1. He said, and it shall come to pass, if, which is a condition, thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power, and thy is your, is a personal possessive pronoun showing ownership, will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, if we be obedient. That's why you hear us saying we got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to apply them in your life when this book is closed. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee if, that's another condition, thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field. The field is the world. So every city we're going to be blessed in the kingdom. It's coming in the kingdom. Because we got to work hard to make it to the kingdom. And being righteous, keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Look at Deuteronomy 4:26. Deuteronomy 4:26. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish, meaning you when we utterly put to death, from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it, the land of Canaan that he gave us. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, so you're going to live long there, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Most High shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Most High shall lead you. He told us. That's what he told us. And there ye shall serve gods. Remember he told us in Psalm 96:5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. That's what these churches is dealing with. All these different religions, I'll say. They're dealing with wood and stone. Christianity, Buddha, Islam, all these different religions. The Most High never gave us religion. You won't find any of those religions in the Bible, period. Nowhere in the Bible. He gave us laws, statutes, commandments. He is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Europeans created the word God, and they created the word Lord. And they put it in here. Just like Amen, Amen-Ra. They put that in there too. Because they dealing with a Babylonian type, or so-called African type of religions from start to finish until the end. Verse 29, but if from thence thou shalt seek the Most High thy power, thou shalt find him. If thou seek him with all thy heart, your heart is your mind, and with all thy soul, your spirit, everything about you. That's how we got to seek him. And thou art in tribulation. And we in tribulation right now, y'all. They just letting us die. We dying. And thou art in tribulation, and it's just beginning. Jacob's troubles. And all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. Come on now. You can't get no clearer than this. We way back in the wilderness when we came out of Egyptian captivity. And he telling us when it's going to be upon us. When thou art in tribulation, and we in tribulation right now. And all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. If thou turn to the Most High thy power, and shall be obedient unto his voice. From a voice come words. And the word of the Most High we know is Hamashiach Yahushua. An angel of the Most High. The angel of the Most High. The Spirit of the Most High. For the Most High thy power is a merciful power. Merciful power. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers which he sware unto them, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. A covenant is an agreement, a contract that he made with us. But he wants us to be obedient. For ask now of the days that are past. That's what we're looking at. That's why we all the way back in the wilderness. When we came out of Egyptian captivity, here we are all the way back in the wilderness right now. But he said you're going to consider this tribulation, the things that come upon us in the last days. We're in the last days now, people. You better pay attention. Get it right. We only have so much time. And you got no time to be explaining a lot of things to people that want to be in darkness. You remain in darkness. Because it's time to move, it's time to deal with. The Spirit's telling us to roll. You got to be ready to roll. For real. That's why I tell you, I need to be looking at that movie. The Crazies. The old one from the 70s. And look at the spirit of the men in that movie. And you'll find out what it's going to be like in these last days. Got no time to be, if you got to be all, catered to like you a baby or something, come on. You might be left behind. You might not make it. Well, ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that the Most High created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other. Everything that the Most High have allowed to go on this earth. Investigate. That's what he's saying, investigate. Everything. So you know the past, you can know the present, and you can know the future in prophecy. It's right here in this Bible. Whether there have been any such things as this great thing is, and have been heard like it? Did ever people hear the voice of the Most High speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived? Any other nation? Name them. They can say this happened to us. The Jewish people claim to believe in this. They can't even call it. It only happened to us. Or has the Most High said to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation? When this happened? By temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, the angel of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, and by a stretched out arm, the destroyer is he called, and by great terrors. You hear that? By great terrors. This is our power. This is our power, is Allahayah. According to all that the Most High, your power, did for you in Egypt before your eyes. The 10 plagues he put on the Egyptians. Anybody else can say that happened? You get them a name? Or they power a name? Whatever it is, they call God. There's many gods. You have a name. He named in this Bible. Power of Abraham, the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. See, that's my name forever, the memorial to all generations. And Jacob is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why he's telling us in verse 32, for ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that the Most High created man upon the earth. Only way we're going to find that is going to the Bible. That's what we're doing now. We already back into the wilderness. And we came out of Egypt. The Most High drowned Pharaoh and all his chariots and his men that was on his chariots in the Red Sea. Their bodies came up on the shore. We've seen all this. Opened up the Red Sea, we walked across dry ground. And until this day, still rebellious. He got us right here in this book. He knows us just how it's going to be and how we would be. And is. Until thee, it was shown to us, the Israelites, that thou mightest know that the Most High, he is the power. There is none else beside him. The Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heard of his words out of the midst of the fire. He always sent an angel to bring forth his words. He have a voice, and the angels are the words of the Most High. They bring the message of the Most High. And because he loved thy fathers, our forefathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and we the seed after them, and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art. This Most High did to make himself a name. That's what he's going to do in redeeming the children of Israel in this last days that we're on this earth, dealing in this world. He's going to drive out nations, because we scattered among all nations, Israel is. So he's going to drive out nations. He's going to bring them down. He's going to bring their pulp to the ground, their strength to the ground. There's going to be no but dust and smell of smoke, as it is written. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose thy seed after them, and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in, to give thee their land for an inheritance, as it is this day. See, he gave us 7 nations, lands, and told us to destroy them. And don't have nothing to do with them. Don't let their sons marry our daughters, or their daughters marry our sons. because he said they would take our minds away from following him. Because why? Because all the nations, gods or powers, are idols. So if you understand this, then you're looking at how can you follow and believe in anyone that their gods are idols. That's why all these religions dealing with what? Idolatry. One way or another, bring it forth. I'll show you the idolatry that's there. It's there. Because they're not going by, thus say the Most High, this Bible. People talk about the Bible, they're not going to precept after precept after precept after precept, how the Bible is, breaking it down as a puzzle. This subject, that subject, the way of true life. This is the way of true life. People say it's the way of life. No, this is the way of true life. That's going to lead you to everlasting life. You can live forever and ever and ever. Hear what he said, verse 38, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art, to bring thee in, to give thee their land for an inheritance, as it is this day. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart. The heart is your mind. Consider this, think about this. He said that the Most High, he is the power in heaven above and upon the earth beneath. There is none else. He's the power, the Most High. Thou shalt keep therefore his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee, and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth, which the Most High thy power giveth thee forever. That's the commandment he's telling us to do, what he's telling us to do. Look at Deuteronomy 31 and 28. He said, gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears and call heaven and earth to record against them. So he gathered the elders. He said, gather together. For I know that after my death, Moses said, ye will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days. The last days, baby, that's where we at now. Read it again. For I know that after my death, ye will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days. That's what we're looking at now. Evil's befalling us in the last days, because ye will do evil in the sight of the Most High. See, understand this. The Most High is righteous. I say it all the time. So when you do evil, which is transgressing his law, then you draw evil to you. That's why he's telling you. And evil will befall you. Evil going to befall us, he tells us, in the latter days. These are the last days that we in now. Why? Because ye will do evil in the sight of the Most High. You know what's evil in the sight of the Most High? They'll say that you're not under his laws. Telling the people, that teaching the people, you don't have to keep the Most High's rules and regulations, but you got to keep the law of the land, which you do. But we got to keep the laws of the Most High too. You got moral laws, civil laws, dietary laws, and ceremonial laws that we can keep right now. You know, when the last time you kept the new moon feast or the holy days that he told us to keep, and the days that we said as Israelites we go to keep? That's in the Bible. Our personal days that we said we're going to keep getting the victory over our enemies. You know anything about them? You should be knowing all the days. And when they fall, you call yourself an Israelite, you should know all of that. Those days, you should better name them. But you know how to name Christmas and Easter and Halloween and 4th of July. You know them by heart, right? But you should be able to know all the days that the Most High gave us to honor his feast days. Those are his feast days. So in not knowing this, you're in sin. You still like wherever church you came from. You know about whatever they celebrated, but you don't know what the Most High said actually in laws, his rules and regulations to do. You got to think about that, people. And you put yourself in the kingdom already. And you can't name them all just in order as they come. You know, it's a new year starts in the spring, between Esau's third month to the fourth month. So you should be able to name all of those. It's very important. In the last days, what's it going to say? And evil will befall you in the latter days, because ye will do evil in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. Hear that? Through the work of our hands, man. What we're doing. So one day we might be able to sing that song. And see, that's what happened with us. Sad, because we want to follow the way of our oppressor. Like I went through the scriptures, showed you how we under the shadow of Egyptians, of Egypt. Egypt means captivity, slavery, and bondage, the oppressor. We want to be under the shadow of them. And it's going to be our downfall. Look at go back to Jeremiah 21:8. And to this people thou shalt say, thus said the Most High Power, behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. Which one you going to choose? That's what we at now in these last days. A way of life or the way of death. Look at 1 Corinthians 10 and 13.